okay, I could have purchased a very, very nice home with the amount of money that I have spent on tons of different modalities.
Mm.
This is worth exploring for you to take those modalities and actually engage with them in a way that this work will have you integrate.
Imagine discovering a pathway that cuts through the noise of trying to heal, to instead offer you a clear, revolutionary initiation into your most connected, abundant, loved, and purpose-filled self. A place where your dreams transform into personal reality. I'm Allura Halliwell, founder of the Consciousness Method, and it's with deep gratitude that I connect with beautiful souls who have already experienced this transformative method firsthand. They'll share how it has profoundly changed their lives and led them into inner truth. Hello, Sylvia. Welcome to the Consciousness Method podcast. I am thrilled to have you here.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that I'm here, actually.
It is amazing because I've had the great honor of not just working with you, but your beautiful daughter. And that was how we came to know each other, which I think is remarkable in itself, that she was here and then doing the work and then you felt to come and explore. So I'd love to hear a little bit about what drew you in to beginning to look at this work.
Well, the biggest part was the transformation or the evolution of my daughter. Not even so much the transformation; it was just the evolution of who I experienced her to be in relationship with me, and so it was so in her conversations about what was happening for her in her life and her relationship, and with Stevie Lee, you know, her daughter and my granddaughter, beautiful little thing that she is. And I just heard something true and authentic in the energy of her expressions. Mm. And so when she told me, because she didn't tell me she was doing this work for quite some time. So I just, you know, and she and I have always been very engaged in awareness conversations. Let's put it that way, awareness conversation. And I've had both of my kids in various programs to, I think from my perspective back then, I think it was to repair some of the damage I did. Mm. And so, you know, had them in Alateen, had them in counseling, had them in personal development programs. And to some degree, you know, both of them, my son, who is just 5 years older than Tara Lee, they both said, like, you ruined our teenage years. Like, what were you thinking? But anyway, so with this experience with Tara Lee, and she kept talking about the work, and she thought that I would really be interested in it. And I kept resisting to a certain degree because I was very much involved, as you know, as I've talked about to some degree in this program, that I've been involved in a paradigm called Quintessential You and Quintessential You design. And it's very much about quantum consciousness and evolution and polarity and the integration of that and the expression of ourselves as, you know, as humans in this world. And she said, well, I think this might have something of just a little bit to add to that. And I'm an explorer, and, you know, it's like, she says, you know, you don't have to go into like the deep stuff, you know. And I was like, I do not want to visit any more pain. Yeah, pretty hilarious, right? So at any rate, I thought one of the areas for me that was still I felt quite separate from was my body.
Mm.
And I was so dealing with such physicality in my world, and had been for so long. And so I thought long and hard because I saw the evolution of her, and I was like, no, that's pretty darn cool. And so thought that there would be an opportunity for me to maybe explore what that relationship is with my body and how that is, what I used to call, it's no longer there, but I used to call it the veil. The veil between me and my body and my experience of the field, the consciousness.
Yes, I love that.
So I said yes. And I thought, okay, well, I'll do that. And of course, the first couple of weeks was like, yeah, don't think so. Yeah, maybe not.
Like, no, I don't think we need to go there. I don't think we need to do this. It is, because it's a little bit confronting when you begin. I find most people are like, oh, hold on a minute. Where are we going with this? How's this going to look? I'm not sure how you found it at the beginning to kind of get into the mode of what we were doing, but it is.
I was very familiar with the process. Like, I think it was for me, what was confronting was I had been engaged in a paradigm for a long period of time. And some of what I was finding myself confronted with was hearing newly from another perspective the same kinds of experiences. Mm-hmm. So I did a lot of very similar work through Quintessential You, and very, very sensory, very frequency oriented, the orientation to field, the all of everything. It's all potential. It's, all of those things were very familiar. And I did a lot of pain work. I did a lot of that work throughout my life. What shifted for me eventually inside of this work was that I was experiencing the connection with consciousness through the pain in a different way than what I had before. And my reframe on healing, what the healing journey was, I think what I did, and I actually was listening to something the other day, and it said, I actually wrote it down because it says I think it was in one of the one of the master classes or something. Anyways, it said healing means shifting the frequency. Mm. And my experience of healing was that I was healing something wrong, right? So I had done something wrong. There was a wound. Therefore, I need to make it better. I need to correct it. I need to heal. And yes, there would be a scar, it's like all that stuff. And so when I heard that phrase, healing means shifting the frequency, that so resonated for me in that the pain that I'm experiencing, that just arises, because it would just arise.
Yeah.
And so giving myself permission, I spent a lot of years learning to befriend my process. Mm-hmm. Because I hated my process.
Yeah.
I just had this, I wanted to be different. I wanted to be like you. I wanted to be like my guru partner, Kathleen, who, is the source of Quintessential You. Like, you're the source of TCM. And finding my own voice and my own frequency inside of that. That's going to make me cry now. Is the place that I find myself in.
Yes.
And I from that little girl who was so silenced. To come to this age and stage of my world, of my life, my experience of life. Not just thinking that I have a voice, not just working toward having a voice, but having an experience that my voice is being supported. Just never thought, really, in my wildest dreams, that the two things that I adore the most, quintessential you, and now the blending of the two has just been such an opening for me. Just a place to rest, which is one of my intentions that I brought into this, was that I wanted my body to rest. But I discovered that it was more than my body that needed to rest. It was just my entire spirit just wanted to rest. So, and as I experience my daughter and who she is now, and my own experience of myself, and what that has made available in my relationships, and what just organically is the word that comes to mind. Like, for example, I'll give you an example of something that just literally came out of the blue, and it was in my intake. That what I wanted, one of my triggers was, people who I experienced as being arrogant, taking credit for my work, not being attributed to the contribution that I was making. And that would just really, my whole being just felt like I was invisible. I was irrelevant. My voice was no longer there. Nobody heard me, all of those things. So I was doing this big project at work, really, that not necessarily anybody asked me to do, but it's the work that needed to be done. And so it had to do with marketing. So evolution can come from anywhere. And so I completed this really wonderful project, and I sent an email to my boss, and I hit send, and immediately went into a pain portal. Send, pain portal. Vortex down, and I was like, what just happened? And so I did some journaling and was doing all this other kind of stuff. And it was the letting go of the responsibility. That it was okay to have planted seeds and for others to bear the fruit.
Wow.
And I was like, that means that I have more freedom for me. I was like, oh, isn't that wonderful? So, and it just came from nowhere. And because I've, over the few months that I've been in this course, the engaging with it on a regular basis and really befriending the pain portals in a whole different way than I was at first. So whatever resistance I had, I was able to just move beyond that and not even move beyond it, move through it, actually, because it was about moving through it. So yeah, that was,
it's amazing.
That was just this week.
Yeah. Non-stop, isn't it, this work? It's once you begin, it's non-stop. It's almost like the consciousness gets permission to show you all the places. And you're right in saying it's not that they're wounds, they're actually just entry points. And then the entry point creates the connection of the consciousness through the pain, and then you're off. And how have you found like that? I mean, you've spoken to it a little bit, but I'd love to hear a little bit more about the recalibration or the reorientation around pain as an experience, a sensation experience in the body, and really meeting that, because I know you've done so much beautiful work in the way you've met and held your body so it was safe to release a lot of what I call the density or the stored cellular material that we just accumulate over our lives and our nervous system holds and our mental body holds. So I'd love to hear a little more about your relationship to that portal.
In this, how you describe the pain portal and the cellular density, and I didn't obviously, really have an experience of what that was at the very beginning. And what I came to know, and it took some time to just be with I want to say the frequency of the words, because words are really, language for me is it's frequency. Language is frequency. And so the words that are chosen are purposeful and intentional, and they themselves open up doorways. So when I heard the cellular density, something about that resonated with me, but I didn't quite get it because I've been doing pain work for like a long time. I've done lots of somatic work. I've done rebirthing. I did so many awakenings came, some traumas that arose through body work. But what I come to now is that pain work was coming from healing something that was wrong with me. Somebody hurt me, and now I have to heal it, and I got to feel this pain. And that's what's going to really move things through. And that was part of it for sure. But it was more from an emotional trauma versus it being stored in the body at a cellular level. Like there was just a new understanding or a fresh understanding, an awakening about how that is. So when I do a meditation now, or I'm engaged with whatever pain portal, for example, I went for a walk today. I'm still having pain in my back, even though they've done some things to alleviate some of the pain. I'm still experiencing pain. I'm engaging with it differently. I'm inquiring about it. It's like, what do you need me to do? So it's not even so much what do you say anymore, it's like, how do I need to take care of you right now? Okay. What's happening? And so then I just stop and I let the pain subside for a little bit, and then I walk. So in doing that today, it was like, it was the first time. I mean, this blows my mind. It's the first time in over 2 years that I got to walk 40 minutes. 40. I'd barely been able to do 5 minutes. So over the past week in engaging differently, I've been able to increase my capacity. I went down to the beach for the first time in 2 years because I live with hills, right? There's lots of hills all the way down to the beach. And I mean,
this makes me so happy, Sylvia.
Crazy.
It's just, for me, it's the liberation. Mm-hmm. Like you have been on a mission of liberating yourself on so many levels and doing so much work. And now I feel like you're liberating your vessel, and you've liberated your emotional body. And then it's like the soul is liberating on another level again through this human experience. And that is just everything for me to hear, that you're feeling freer and freer in every moment through that relationship with yourself and your consciousness and your pain. Yeah. It's incredible.
It really is incredible. It's like I think part of my challenge over the years in doing really any kind of work, because QU is my foundation. That's what, in short, that's what I call it, is QU. That is my foundation. That is my orientation. And there are so many modalities out there that are about quantum consciousness, about being on the field, being in the field, being of the field, an expression of the field. We are the potentiality of everything and nothing at the same time. And I would experience these moments in my evolution where in the TCM, you call it dying to the limited self.
Mm.
And I would often throughout my journey, early in my journey, would want to die.
Mm.
And at first I was, concerned because the construct out there, and if one is thinking that is a real thing you want to do, then, go seek some help. But for me, I inquired into what is this experience?
Mm.
And I realized that every time I thought that I wanted to die or I wanted to walk away, I wanted to get out of there, just get me out, it was just the next portal of pain that I was going to go through.
Yeah.
And so I would go into that portal. And now I can go into that portal. I just feel like I have such a complete experience. And I don't know what my expression of this will be, but inside of QU and TCM and, of course, Lineage. I mean, I'm really looking forward to Lineage.
Which is the next level program, the Lineage of Consciousness.
Just next level and just the past life. And I did some spinal energetics the other day. I mean, that arose in the course. I felt my mother was there very, very clearly. She was with me. Went on my walk the other day and saw a hummingbird. That was my mother. I mean, it was just, those little expressions of the field showing me, that the whatever challenges, and I know that there will be continued challenges as I go along, and there will be, moments where I'm reactivated by something. But that reactivation is just part of being human, partly, and just another opportunity to let another piece go. Because I used to want to be perfect, of course, right? Because you're perfect, and my friend Kat is perfect. My daughter's perfect. It's like
everyone's perfect, but you. No.
Everybody's perfect except when I look in the mirror.
Yeah, that's the
and
program.
I go, and I heard a guy say it the other day, and I just thought it was so funny. He just looked. And he got up in the morning and he just went, "Oh, it's still you." And I went, "Oh, I used to feel that way."
Yeah.
God, it's still you. And that, has really evolved over the past, I'd say probably 5 years. But over the past couple of years has really moved on.
And I can feel that feeling, which is so powerful, because I think, and maybe not necessarily for you, but I can feel this a lot, is that when people begin the work, there is this still, even though the commitment to the healing is there and so many layers of healing have been done and so many modalities, there still is this underlying sense of being, and I know this is a strong word, but I use it to kind of get the potency of it, a victim to our realities. Still feeling like we're stuck on some level, still feeling like there are these impenetrable moments that we cannot feel differently in, or relationships that will not shift with ourselves or our psyche or our past or anywhere else. And what I love about this modality as a consciousness is that I feel like we can access everything as a portal of evolution. And when we get the hang of that, it's almost like there's nothing that cannot be moved. And I don't know if you've experienced that expansion or freedom in this modality around that space.
In a different way. I mean, that is true in the paradigm in quintessential you. That is how we experience reality, if you will, is that everything is there for us. Mm-hmm. And so engaging with it, both with gratitude and curiosity and awareness and witnessing and all of that. But I think what TCM brings to my experience newly is an awareness of the immediacy of the pain being the portal to freedom, if that makes sense. So I find that I'm very finely tuned in my awareness. So if I'm in conversation with someone and I notice a shift in my own language based on what, our relationship patterns are, I can immediately go into, I'm bad and wrong, I've done it again. And in that moment, I can see, oh, that's my hurt little girl again. It's like, oh, that's when I wasn't given credit, or somebody was taking credit. Mm-hmm. So I see the pattern much more quickly. And maybe not right at that moment, but I will go later and move into that space. Mm. And I'm so fortunate and so blessed to have the both the conditions and circumstances in my life with the people around me who just support me to do what I do. And so I don't have a clock. And so I can really take care of myself. And so that freedom to engage in one's process is, that's just a crazy blessing. Just crazy blessing.
It's such a gift. And if you could maybe reflect, like just off the top of your head, of the 3 big pieces that maybe we moved in this container, what would you say the 3 big shifts that you received from this?
Oh, I actually met so I outlined some intentions in this, and I actually, because I went back to say, what did I say? So what I said specifically was, so the question is, what do you hope to achieve? And experience connection with my body that frees my creativity and makes space for deeper connections with my closest and most important relationships.
Oh.
And the freedom, and I find this quite fascinating, the freedom that I feel in my body while I am still experiencing pain is really quite remarkable, because the pain is no longer stopping me, right? Where it did before. And as I'm sitting in my home and I'm going, oh, it's like, I think I want to go for a walk. I was like, where did that come from? That has not happened for such a long time. So it's still pretty novel. Wow. To recognize that awareness, and that was something I was really desiring as well, for that experience of my physicality to be coming from me, not put on me by some external construct that says you must go for a walk, you need to do this, you need to do that. But it really comes from my body saying, yeah, that's what I want. I want this right now. So that is just phenomenal to me. It's exactly, what I intended, what I hoped for. Yeah.
Amazing.
Just really, really quite
incredible.
Yeah. So that's one piece of it for me. The other is a deep, deep gratitude for my own process and for this kind of work. It doesn't matter where it is, if it's TCM, QU, other modalities, but if it is connecting the experience of pain and witnessing self and recognizing that that's the other piece that came for me, was that I am an experience of love. I'm an expression of it, rather than I need to learn to love myself. I knew that at some place, but it's like, but as an experience of and I'm not fully there, I think, not yet, but I'm certainly in the place of recognition. I think the other piece that was really essential in this work is that one can't know one has not been loved if there isn't already that knowing of love.
Yeah, it's a big priority.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the foundation is already there. We're just,
It's already there.
yeah, that's the only way we can experience the absence of it, knowing that it's already there. So that's
and the duality of what is, where is our expression of moving through this duality of reality.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
It's a gift.
So I just feel I just feel really blessed. I just really do. Just overall, I'm so grateful to my daughter. For her. She's wise beyond her world, right?
Yeah.
She always has been.
Yeah. And it's just the safety of processing that, the body that's holding that part of the loop. And I think it's just being a gift to witness her do that, and and yourself to do that. And I'll link Tara's podcast here on the show notes as well, so people can hear that, because and it's amazing to see you both doing this work together and speaking a language. You already have your own language, but then there's another layer then when you've shared work like this, because you can be conscious on other levels and see things on another level. It's
incredible to be able to have a conversation with my daughter. And I've always seen both my children as unique beings inside this responsibility I had to be a parent, whatever that looked like, because I really didn't know. And I only assessed and judged myself against what other people told me or what I heard. So when she and I are in conversation and those things arise where something occurs that didn't quite land well or something like that, the space to hear each other just opens differently as individual beings, and this expression is just really, for every parent, I wish this for them. It's so amazing.
Me too. Yeah. And just finally, Sylvia, if someone's listening and they're thinking, oh, I've done a lot of work, should I try this or not? What would you say to them?
Okay, I could have purchased a very, very nice home with the amount of money that I have spent on tons of different modalities. This is worth exploring for you to take those modalities and actually engage with them in a way that this work will have you integrate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do all the modalities, but maybe this is like the connecting piece to living them or embodying them, or finally being complete within your process.
Seeing how they actually was. It's such a challenging thing, because I've been inside of QU for so long, quintessential you, which is very similar to this. This work is about, for me, this is about taking all of the modalities and consciousness and embodying it. And so all of the practices that you have, that you've tried, all of the rebirthing, the therapeutic interventions. I mean, I did therapy for years and years.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not saying it was bad and wrong at all. It certainly was useful at the time, but it was not transformative. I was just a smarter person who was very wounded. And I had more information with which to have a conversation about how wounded I was. Right. So in being in this kind of work, it's really do yourself a wonderful gift. Give yourself a wonderful gift to really explore underneath the surface.
Yeah, I love that. And do you feel for you now, Sylvia, that maybe you can start living and maybe you're seeking, even though it will keep happening and you'll keep exploring yourself, do you feel like maybe there's something that's being satisfied in you that you feel like you're here to live on another level now?
Well, as I said earlier, it's like the combination of QU and TCM has created something new that has been stirring for me. And I think there's inside of lineage, there's another level of exploration of what those gifts are that are my unique voice and my unique language.
Yeah, beautiful.
In the same realm, in the consciousness realm, but there is something that I know uniquely.
Of course. Yeah.
And that hasn't found its language yet.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's the next evolution for me.
Honored to support you in that, and honored to support you as you evolve through that next part of the lineage of consciousness, which is the next level after the consciousness method. So Sylvia, it's been an absolute honor to have this conversation with you today and to receive you and hear you and to share in your incredible journey. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Allura. It has been my pleasure as well.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure to spend this time with you, and to say thank you, I'd like to share with you 3 beautiful meditations to explore your core wounding and a collection of masterclasses. You'll find these in your show notes. And if you feel the synergy to this path, know that it is available to you also.